Quick question for you. Do your goals, particularly smart ones, survive first contact with the people that need to deliver them for you? I'm actually going to put that in the questions box here. Put that up on the screen because I want to know your answer to it. I'm attacking smart goals. I'm not attacking smart goals, all right? I'm saying there's a better way. We have moved on. Smart goals come from reading this book at the moment called Intentional. Chapter 3 alone is worth the price of the book. 10x, 20x, probably 100x. Okay? Most people just preach smart goals and don't actually know where they come from and what they were based on. So I'll tell you where they come from. A consultant in 1981 wrote an article, probably with the best intentions in place and how to build highly effective teams. It came down to SMART, which was catchy and easy to remember. Is literally the only reason that it has lasted this long. It's not based on any science. It was not based on any research at that particular point in time. What we have, however, or it's been going on for thousands of years, when I just did some research before, is neuroscience. Neuroscience can tell us, and with 2026, so we're 45 years past 1981, can tell us exactly, or not exactly, give us the best possible chance of setting goals that are going to keep people engaged, motivated, and able to sustain them. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go with neuroscience. So if you want to see how I do that, stick around today. And we're also going to run through the process. I don't know if you've seen it or not. You've probably seen it in the headline called ORCA. I let Boo, it's a fighter pilot process. They've been doing it for almost just on 60 years or just over 60 years. I'll let Boo tell you why, Christian Bukosis, it was actually a fighter pilot, so powerful.
You need to break that loop, but it's really hard. Here's why it's so hard for you to change your mind. This is called the Cognitive Bias Codex. 200 little apps that run on your computer within your brain that shape all your decisions, all your beliefs. And they're very hard coded, but they are reprogrammable. And I'm not going to go through all of them. But to change the way you think, to change how you perceive the world around you and the people around you, we had to change the way we thought as fighter pilots. And we only thought like this 60 years ago. It's a new way of thinking for us as well. We don't think like the military. Fighter pilot thinking is totally unique, and it's called a debrief. It cuts the line between the impact you have and the feelings as a result of it. So we could turn a negative into a positive. It's how we take that micro bad news to a team member and turn it into a positive. This is the methodology that creates fighter pilot mindset.
When he talks about fighter pilot mindset, they deliver their missions, what they call flawlessly, which is not perfect. It means whatever the mission is, the mission gets achieved. But they debrief straight after every mission. And they do that near on 99% of the time. They could do it as fighter pilots, then we can do it in the construction industry as well, if we follow their process. All right, we'll do an ORCA later on. I'll run you through how to do an ORCA. I'm going to show you how to use ORCA, how to create that. We use AI, couple it with ORCA, create lessons learned, and keep driving this continuous improvement loop. Let's have a look at SMART goals first. I'll explain to you what's going on. So I always talk to, we want to get from, we're stuck in this quadrant down the bottom here, which we've got 1 of 3 levels of shit show. Bit of a shit show, complete shit show, and a bit of a shit show, a real shit show, and complete another shit show. Or there's the 4th one, which is a cluster, you know what. Stuck down in this corner like that. People heading in all different directions. Up on the top here, we're all on the same page. We're executing flawlessly like Christian's talking about. Down at the bottom, we've got chaos, everyone's choosing their own adventure. We want to set a goal where we want to go, we know that 90% of everything that we do every day is waste, based on lean thinking. Whether it's 90% or not, it's high. 10% of what we do is intentional or value-added activity. 9% of it's busy work. Okay, so what's going on down here, that's driving these, keeping these teams in this bottom quadrant down here, is that one word there, urgency. Urgency, or as I say in the book, rework, ASAP is poison. You hear the words, this is urgent, all the time. This is the top priority. This must get done. We need this ASAP. We have a priorities list. We hear terms like, it's on my to-do list. I'm getting to it. The reason why we can't let this all go is because of what's known as the sunk cost effect. We based our identity around delivering the urgent and being busy all of the time, not being intentional about what we do. I'm not going to go into in depth with SMART goals and why they don't work. Get the book, read chapter 3. It will explain it all to you, not what I'm here for today. This is a process that I use, and I realised I actually set this process, if you go back and watch my videos, at the start of the year. I study a lot around how do I get people to buy in to doing these things themselves. Study the guys like Chris, who study neuroscience, the actual science behind why we do what we actually do. What I found was what he outlines is exactly what I've been doing. Hence the reason I'm on day 64 of 90 of the ORCA process. So I haven't missed an ORCA in the last 64 days. 64 days straight now. And I've live streamed every day since Boxing Day. So I don't know, that must be getting up over 30 now, straight, every day. If I'd set a SMART goal, would I have achieved it? I very much doubt it. We're just trying to run off a SMART goal. There's not enough science behind. SMART goals, I read somewhere this morning, is good as a checklist. That's about it. Doesn't tell us how we go about or what we need to do or who we need help from to be able to make this stick. What are they doing up here? Up here, they've got signals. Down on this corner here, they've got a lot of noise going on. So the signals are coming from an outcome goal, is what Chris calls it in the book. Or Christian calls it a mission. What's the single objective that we need to achieve? For me, that is winning the school games for this year. One mission that I need to achieve. Did I do it? Did I not do it? If I got the trophy by the end of the year, then I did it. If I don't have the trophy, then I didn't do it. So I have an outcome goal. Next, all we have is a process goal. That's what ORCA is. ORCA is a process, the key process that is driving me towards that outcome. How do I know that? Because 60 years of fight apart study tells me that's their key thing. So guess what? If I copy them, what do you think might happen? So I've got a process goal, which is ORCA. Outcome goal, process goal. Step 3 is to obliterate obstacles. ACLES. See how much attention I pay in school now. Guess what the ORCA process does? Does that every day. What was the objective of the day? What were the results? What were the causes of those results? What were the obstacles? What actions are we going to take to obliterate them? Okay. Next thing that we need is a rate of progress. I can see what the rate of progress is. Every day I've done it for the last 64 days. There's probably, well, there will be better ways that you could measure than that. I used to use EV just as a rate of progress, not as a productivity factor. I don't believe in productivity factors. I believe they're a crock of shit. The way that we measure, track and record them. I don't believe we have an accurate productivity factor in Australia. And we talk about productivity levels, they're going up, they're going down. How would you know? The data that we're feeding is rubbish. So how will we actually know what good productivity even looks like? I'll tell you how. We go back and we have a look at what the best of the best do, which is the people like Toyota. And they say 90% of everything that we do every day is waste. So how have we created and decided what a good productivity level actually is? And we've got that much waste in the process. Road in progress, it's ticked off every day. Next one is your values. Everyone, company, you go to their website and they'll have a list of values that some marketing department decide to sit down and come up with. Maybe even the HR department got a little bit involved, maybe even the CEO. It's just bullshit that was written up on the board. No one's really buying into it. No one's really reading it. No one's listening to it. The values that I run off are the ones that come out of the books that the All Blacks have got. One of their key values, which is better All Blacks, better people, make better All Blacks. Our values are, we eliminate day's waste, everyone improves, everyone gets better, we allow them to create autonomy, mastery and purpose. They're all improving every day. That will drive us towards our outcome goal. The other thing that he speaks about, and this is something that you will, tick all these off, very rarely see anywhere else or hear anywhere else. I haven't seen it or heard it, or I actually have. It's in the other book that I've been researching on getting it done, on that fishback, which is track your dips. Work out where you're most likely to fail. There is one line out of that book which I didn't keep. It will be in the LinkedIn post that I wrote today. And it's something around the key constraint in your process is when you're likely to fail. Work out when that is. If you notice my ORCAs, when I do them, it asks me, is this a home ORCA or is it a travel ORCA? Guess what? When I'm on a travel ORCA, I'm more likely to fail. It dials it back, keeps the streak running. It will also ask me, is this a weekday ORCA or is this a weekend ORCA? Same reason. Planning for the failure. I'm just putting a smart gap up and let's do a vision board and put it all on the wall and it'll all look pretty and it sounds cool because it says smart. So we must be. Dumb. That's what that fucking is. All right. How do we use this to drive daily improvement? What I would do and what I'm actually building at the moment, I haven't finished building this, but we will flick across to it right now. We won't do the ORCA process yet, but we'll flick across and have a look at this. I'm building this in Claude because I'm being told Claude is the place to be and to code, and the guys that I follow who are much smarter than me about this stuff are telling me that's where I need to be. So in Claude, I'm going to create an ORCA wingman in there. Just started doing the prompt this morning. It'll be live in the next day or two. What we're going to do is, with that, I've set up on site. This is the way that I would get everyone using this on site. So we want everyone to learn to see waste, how much waste we have on the project, and how to create flow. We teach that at pre-start. We say to everyone, I want you to do an ORCA during the day. I'd get everyone's mobile numbers and I'd text them a message once a day. Have you done an ORCA? There'd be a link which go out to Claude. Claude will step through the process. Jump on. I need to do an ORCA. This is a new shift. This is a date. I'm doing an ORCA. Claude will step them through the process. What was the objective? What were we trying to do? We're trying to put a bit of pipe, 600mm pipe, up in a pipe rack. What are the results? We didn't get there. We're supposed to get it in today, but we didn't get it in. Okay? Well, what caused that? Well, we hadn't organised a scaff, so we didn't have flow. Scaffies didn't know about the job until 10 o'clock in the morning. We wouldn't put the pipe in at 12. There's 8 hours of scaffolding that had to be done yet. All right, so what are the actions? All right, so we need to put a scaffold request form in place, or we need to get scaffolding built into our TAC plan. So we're allowing them the time that they need to be able to get scaffolding before, well before, we need to start installing pipe. Because that's in Claude, I'm going to try and see if I can get it to ask for images or videos as well. That will capture that. So we're putting all of our lessons learned into like a database, into a full, whatever you want to call it. It's going into Claude. It would capture all of that. What we can go through then at the end of the week is say, Claude, go back and have a look at what patterns are emerging from all the orcas that we've had people out in the paddock do this week. Okay, we take the best of these photos and videos, and we take the information that Claude spits us back 5 times. You've had the same issue with the scaffold, where the scaffolders hadn't been able to get there to put the scaffold in time because no one's notifying them. That's a constraint in the system. System can't move any quicker than the slowest point. Maybe the scaffolding is the slowest point, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Put that into our school platform, like this one that I've got here, and that would go into, funnily enough, one of the categories, like this one here, which is 90 days of ORCA. So, hey guys, this is a wrap up from this week. These are the key things that we've seen that are slowing our progress down. Our rate of progress. Our rate of progress could have been far better if we were getting scaffolding properly into our weekly TAC plan, so that scaffolders knew where they needed to be, where they were going, and which, I don't call priorities. Also, we've got a primary objective, everything else is secondary. There should always be one primary objective, which is driving this TAC plan. So everyone's on the same page, all singing off the same hymn sheet, or heading in the same direction. Go back to the top of our loop, and we repeat it. Every time we go through that loop, every time we collect another ORCA, we're strengthening our process. We're getting our people to create our independent value, which is autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Better people become better All Blacks. Better people become better construction leaders. And everyone's a leader on a construction site, regardless of what your job is. Everyone has someone that they can lead. All right now, I never got that question up. Let's put it up right now. Quick check. Does your goal, particularly smart ones, still hold once Tuesday hits? So what I'm saying is, you plan on Monday, where are you on Tuesday? How long are you sticking to the goal for? How's your New Year's resolution really going? Are you still on it? Or is it already out the window, already forgotten about? Already gone into busy mode? Let's do our daily ORCA, because that's what we said we were going to do. ORCA, wait a minute. Okay, it is 26th of January 2026, Australia Day. This is a new shift. This is similar, what would happen for you. Claude's going to run similar to this. He's asking me, is this a home ORCA or is it a travel ORCA? So we know how hard to make this daily ORCA. This is a home ORCA. Make sure that transcribes properly, because it quite doesn't when I say home ORCA. Oh, he's got it. One shot today. We're on the ball here today. Did the daily live happen? Yes, the daily live is in progress right now. So this will be happening on all the different crews out on the job. If you get to the point where you've got everyone doing one of these every day, this would be so powerful. Incredibly powerful. Very simple, extremely powerful. Yesterday's 3 must-do tasks: public holiday mode, verify full kit before a task, write a physical Kanban ticket, run the daily live. Yes, I did all 3 of those tasks yesterday. This is where it would start falling down. All right, did you do this? Did you do this? Have you done your top 3? This is where people start going, oh yeah, I've done that. Oh, I did a Kanban ticket, but I didn't do a verify full kit. All of a sudden, verify full kit is going to be one of the key ones, is because we don't want to be starting a job until we've got everything that we need to finish it. So if we are not verifying full kit, and it's still getting hot under there, even with the ice block under it, that's going to flag up very quickly in our ORCAs, and it goes, that's our constraint. We're not getting everything that we need in place before we start the task. This is why we're going backwards and forwards, and we've got so much bad multitasking going on. it's creating a ton of rework, and it is stalling our rate of progress. It will come up, will highlight very quickly. State one objective. What was today's one objective? Today's one objective was to rebuild, do the handover from the current mocks to the new mocks, because the other one is just about out of memory. I have my GPTs write prompts for my GPTs because they've got a lot better memory than me, and they're a lot better sticking to the rules than I am. If you want to see how I did that, I've just used ChatGPT, and this one here, this wingman, just wrote a prompt back up here to pass off to another wingman to write, that's it there, that's all part of it there, to write the prompt for the new ORCA wingman on Claude, because he knows all the rules. He knows what's got to happen every day. He knows what we need to track and what we don't. Binary factual, was the objective achieved? Yes, it was. That quick check. Does your goal still hold once Tuesday hits? All right, tell me about SMART goal that you've set, that you've actually hit as well. I want to see if we can find someone that's actually used the SMART goal process that says, yes, it works. I'm surprised, I'm sure people are going to hound me down and tell me it's a wonderful process, particularly coaches. Coaches, Jesus Christ, if you're working with a coach and they're still talking about SMART goals in this day and age, or a mentor, or anyone in that sort of arena that's helping you, tell them 2 words. Oh, it might be 1 word. Neuroscience. Tell them to start studying it. What caused the objective to be achieved? Day was planned before I started. I've got a clear picture of where I'm going because of my Misogi. I have a mission goal, I have a process goal. I obliterate my obstacles every single day, and I track my rate of progress. And I know what my values are. My values are that I want to be free of time for dollars type work. I want to just pay for outcomes. Just stop you there because I didn't transcribe quite properly. I want to be paid just for outcomes. See an issue, stop, and you fix it immediately. What caused the objective to be achieved? One passed. Dude, I just gave you all this information. Why are we going back to do another pass on this? Surely you can work that out between the 2 bits of information I've already put in there. I like arguing with it sometimes. Keep it on toes. Make sure that it's thinking. Keeping itself on track. I do not infer causes. I do not merge statements. Understood. Alright, so I'm going to go back and go back and copy one that I put up. Just stop there because I didn't try. It's dropped it. I plan my day before I start. I've got an outcome goal, which is my mission. I have a process goal, which is do ORCA every day. I obliterate obstacles during that ORCA process. I track my rate of progress, and I know what my values are, which is I don't want to be tied to time for dollars anymore. I want to be paid for outcomes. All of that is driving the objective that I'm achieving every day, because this one line sums it up. My value is in the outcome that I make inevitable, not the effort or the busy work that I demonstrate. Actions for tomorrow. Before I set task, confirm the calendar branch. Tomorrow is a weekday. This is one of the steps that you probably put in. You might not have the same size crew on the weekend. Maybe they're on 5-2 and half of them are going home on the weekend. Maybe tomorrow's fly out day. Fly out day we lose most of the day. We consider it a buffer day. Could modify this prompt to be able to do this, so that asks you the day before. If Tuesdays tends to be fly out day on most of the sorts that I worked on Monday. So it's Monday, so it's Tuesday tomorrow, and I'll go, all right, it's a buffer day. So we're not setting any tasks in there. You just need to get your ORCA done. Tuesday, week mode, 65 and 90, 3 must-do tasks, verify full kit, write a physical Kanban ticket, run the daily live. Same old, boring. Steph Curry nailed it. Don't practice until you can get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. Daily execution score is 3 from 3. That should just about be it. Do you run the optional visual reflection loop? Have I got any room to run it? Not really. Yes, run the daily visual execution loop. I have to fit it just down, actually. We'll get rid of that up there. Right, so that's, don't forget, that's what's killing. Actually, I was going to say write it down. Don't write it down. Here's a red up tip for you. You're going to pull something out of this, get the YouTube link, go to the bottom of the video, click the transcription, pull the transcription out, throw it into ChatGPT and go summarise what Bernie said in this. Any action steps, any important points, give me the things that he said are a must. So you could say, what were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that he said that keep under urgency and non-value-added activity, that keep teams in the choose your own adventure and chaos quadrant. So saying this is urgent, 2's we need this ASAP, 3 is a priorities list, 4 is on my to-do list, and 5 is a sunk cost effect. That's what goes in to add up 90%, parts, not all of it, but it's a big majority of what creates that 90% waste. Right, let's do this visual reflection loop. One outcome made inevitable today. One outcome, live. Live is inevitable outcome. Done enough of them now. One belief that governed decisions, one single lines. My value isn't tied to busy work, which is waste. One constraint that no longer matters. What do you mean by one constraint? Number 3, one constraint that no longer matters. It's not part of the usual process. I don't know why he's trying that question, isn't it? Me worrying about the dollars for time. That's broken. I'm over that. Past it. Just got to hold the line now. 4 is how do you track your progress? Big ass calendar. Let's take a photo of that. Go that way, because then he'll take the other kind of stuff and take it out of context or something. Outcome made inevitable, live outcome. Governing belief, my value isn't tied to busy work, constraint that no longer matters. Needing time, prep to go live. That's not what I put there at all, anyway. Continuity marker, ORCA streak intact. 6 complete, day 64 of 90 closed. Okay, so you're supposed to put my 3 tasks down the bottom there, so that's the first thing I look at. Why are we still skipping this step? The more you correct this thing and bring it back on track, the better result that you get out of it. Closed ORCA after step 6 without re-anchoring tomorrow's actions. This is a sequence violation. Fixed, now locked. ORCA does not fully close until tomorrow's 3 must-do tasks are written at the bottom of the chat. No debate, no variation. Tomorrow, 3 must-do tasks. Verify full kit, write a physical, Kanban, ticket, write daily life. Alright, take that, use it, set some goals that are actually going to keep your team engaged, motivated and able to sustain it. And if you've hit 2026 and it looks something like this, reach out, organise a time to catch up for a chat. I'll send you some details about the project reset workshop that I run. Speak soon. You don't want to start 2026 like this. I'm starting a new pilot program called 2026 Pre-Season Training. It's for leaders who want to get their team match fit before the whistle blows and the 2026 season kicks off. So if you're running a good company or a team and you want to hit 2026 in a sprint, this is your window right now to set it up. We'll custom build your 12-month plan and drop it into a Trello board so that you actually track it and use it. We'll resource it properly so the work actually gets done and set you up a school community so that you're ready to get rhythm from day one. We'll be setting it all up using Goldrat's project rules of flow to mitigate the 12 causes of project failure, because that's exactly what this is and how you need to treat it as a project. And you'll also be learning to leverage AI where it counts to get the most impact. This isn't some paint by numbers cookie cutter course. It's pre-season training custom built for your business. There's only 10 spots and we'll have it wrapped up so that you're ready to run before we hit Christmas. DM me the words 2026 pre-season training and I'll send you all the details, because you really don't want to start 2026 like this.